Hello everybody and welcome back to BSG Online 7, and here we are now with Worms Armageddon, all missions 80% here by RuffledBricks. Just before we get started, I do believe we had a bit war going on regarding voice packs, isn't it?
Yes. That is correct. What is so? Do we have an idea of who the lucky voice pack is?
Well. It just so turns out, RuffledBricks, that we got a few last donations in the meantime. So let's read what we've got here. We've got first €5 donation from Stubbsy saying blood and stomach pills, and that particular donation seems to have gone towards let me check the Yorkshire Tides voice pack, which puts it at €5. But we've got another €10 donation from Twide the Pony, also saying more Angry Scots, more. So that puts now Angry Scots in the lead at €20, and that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that means we need to now close the bid war, and that means that Angry Scots win. Am I correct?
That is correct, yes. Angry Scots always wins. I don't know why marathon watchers are so lacking in chill, but there we are. We're going to be having Angry Scots doing the important vocalizations for you throughout this run. So yeah, this is Worms Armageddon. I'm RuffledBricks. We're going to be doing a all missions 80% run, and I am joined on backing vocals by a wonderful speedrunner, current world record holder for this run, Mablack.
Hey, greetings. Yes, I'm the current record holder for now, but Ruffled has been doing amazing streaming marathon runs. You got a personal best in one of the marathons like a month ago, I think.
Yeah, we won't be seeing that today though. So
I don't know about that.
But we'll try.
Good about this.
We'll be trying our darndest. Anyway, I'm going to start the run very shortly. We're got to do basic training first of all before we get into the missions. Mablack will be doing the explanations for this section of the run while I concentrate. So let's start things off in
and
3.
Ruffled.
Yes.
I hate to stop you. Would you be able to put the stream back up on Discord real quick?
Yes. No worries. Sorry. Mablack very much likes to comment in
real time. That does
yes.
help.
Okay. Here we go. 3 and a 2 and a 1 and go.
We'll start off with some grenade training. And grenades are one of the basic weapons you use. You can set the fuse your grenade 1 through 5 seconds. And then we're on to shotgun training, so we just have to take out some targets here with our worm. Same targets every time, so we just kind of memorize the little routine. And Ruffled sort of shoots through his own girder that he's standing on to save a little time. So for Bazooka here, if you look in the lower right-hand corner, there's a little wind bar, and Bazooka is one of the few weapons that is affected by wind. And we're on to possibly the best weapon in this game, or any game. Just the ninja rope helps us get around. It's a crucial part of the game. It's a utility and, I guess to some extent, a weapon, if you think about rope.
It's sort of counted as a weapon rather than a utility by the game, if we're being technical about it. But
yes, in the hands of a pro roper, it is truly a weapon. Okay, and we're on to
good lord, what's going on
training
here?
Too.
Yeah, but that was really scuffed, that one. Apologies, gang. Here we got the fire punch.
It's fine. Training is a warm up after all.
Yeah, basically. Like you don't need to pay attention to this bit. Yeah, fire punch.
On to fire punch.
Yeah, go on.
And fire punch has a nice property. You can actually use it in midair. So we just take out a few targets real quick. And we're on to rope training too. You can lay weapons from rope. So we're just laying a dynamite onto that target.
And a good time to talk about fade skip, which we're going to be using throughout the run.
Fade skip is huge. So basically we're pressing Alt F4 right as the screen turns to black at the end of every mission and basic training. So honestly, over the course of a full run, it probably saves us 45 seconds to a minute, you know, like at least a second or two per mission.
If you do it efficiently enough, yeah. Like, because if you do it too early, then you end up losing the mission. So.
Yeah, it is. It is a tightrope. I think so far I haven't ever actually done that, but.
I have. It's great fun. Oof. Okay, that's basic training done.
So the basic training's done. We're on to the actual mission. So our first mission is Pumpkin Problems, and the missions come in a variety of flavors. This one is just a collect the crate mission. So we just have to get across the map over the pumpkins. And Ruffled is going to, don't know what we would call this. It's not quite damage boosting. It's just, you know, we're getting through the train, intentionally hitting a mine to make a hole, just so we get closer to the crate. The other way is to go around the pumpkins. It's kind of a wash. You can go either route.
Going around is slightly quicker, but less easy. Okay, here's where we start getting into some pixel perfect strats here. So we did this mission's called Operation Market Garden, and we did a 2-second grenade, bouncing it off the 2 petals on these flowers here. We want to keep that angle if we can, because it will also be a good shot to get the right-hand grenadier with if Killer Chair remains in position. However, this is quite an RNG heavy mission, this one, because the enemy behaviours can be very variable. Now here we're bouncing a grenade and knocking these 3 worms through the watering can there and onto that mine. And yeah, we got pretty much the perfect split on that. Basically that move can vary a lot because the timing on the mines in this game is that the mines will check for worms around them every 10 frames. So because of that, it's impossible pretty much to guarantee what spread you're going to get from the mine in that move. So you basically just throw the grenade and hope for the best. Now, Grenadier has blown up my flower here, so I'm going to have to do a backup strat to be able to tackle them. See if we get it.
Okay, so we sort of have a number of spots that we take shots from, because the enemy can sort of blow us around the map a little bit. Nice shot.
Yeah, this is actually, even though this is only the second mission, this is probably one of the most complicated missions to learn in the whole game, because you just have to learn so many like angles, backup angles, and that to be able to deal with every eventuality in it.
Yeah, there's definitely a handful of angles and shots we have to learn, and
ooh, that's not good.
Honestly, sometimes the CPU can just completely, you know, it's firing on all cylinders, and you have no choice but to just kind of restart the mission. In this case, this is a pretty this was a pretty bad outcome for the CPU.
I messed up the shot with Ben. Actually, I had the wrong number of time, the wrong fuse on it.
Yeah, I think
this should be okay now. But...
yeah, but the CPU did kind of wander into an annoying spot.
That's all right. One more shot should get it. I just think it's about 4 seconds. I could be wrong. We'll go with 4 and hope for the best. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And a plop as well, so that makes it slightly quicker. The one thing you want to try and do in this run as much as possible is you want to get the worms to die in the water rather than on land, just because the animation is quicker that way. Now, Mablak, do you want to explain what I've just done here?
So, yeah, Ruffled has restarted the map 5 times. So we want to get to the 5th attempt. And basically what the game does, it gives you mercy crates. So the greater the number of restarts you do on a mission, the game is like, oh, they're failing the mission, so we're going to give them some extra crates to help them along. And so what that does, it gives us this extra crate that we're going to use momentarily. And it's basically just going to allow us to bat this worm off of the crate, which is why we need it.
Oh, I knew that was wrong.
Restart.
It's weird. Did you know the crosshairs was just slightly off what I was used to there, and I was kind of like, ugh, should I go for it?
Yeah, so basically, anytime we're using a terrain marker, you have to look at like where the crosshair is in relationship to the land or the background, or there's a bunch of things we use, but basically it's very precise, very easy to like mess up any given shot. And
Okay.
we got it. So triple kill.
That still looked wrong to me. I think maybe I'm just lack of sleep. I think I'm seeing crosshairs everywhere. Yeah, so that
You need a magnifying glass. For
yeah,
sure.
exactly. So that triple there, we can only do that by resetting the mission so that we get that crate above Ben's head. So now this grenadier here is going to aim at Zonorus, and a number of different outcomes can happen as a result of that. What we ideally wanted was for the grenadier to actually knock the field soldier to the right into this little pit here with Zelda addicted by accident. Didn't happen on this occasion, so now what we want is the field soldier is going to walk to the right, because the worms in Worms Armageddon, the enemy worms, have a sort of rightward bias in the way that they move. They will generally try to move right as much as they can. And what we want is for them to move all the way over to the right-hand field soldier so that they form a pile with them, which will make them easy to kill on the next move. And this is a good outcome. So this field soldier can either do a bazooka or a shotgun at the DM Panda here. They've gone with a shotgun, and that's usually good because it means that they've used one shot on the Panda, and now they're going to move all the way to the right so that they can shoot Nick, or shoot at Nick rather.
Completely missed, but yeah.
Completely me, yeah. Big, and then what we're going to do here is this double damage crate spawns on the right hand side of the map, and so we're going to go and grab that, and then we're going to use a aerial weapon called an airstrike, which is just going to drop 5 missiles onto the enemy worms there, and because they're double damage now, they do huge amounts of damage on the 2 worms, insta kill them both.
Okay, nice. And yeah, that's one of the things that we do, because basically the way to optimize these missions is like, do them in the least number of turns, and we really want to get the CPU's help on that. So in that case, the worm walked right, helped us a lot because they piled themselves. Okay, so we're on to Cool as Ice. So the premise of this mission is that that guard worm there is essentially holding the entire world hostage, threatening to blow up the South Pole. We have to take him out. So this is just a kill all the worms mission, and there's just one worm. So Ruffled started by doing an Uzi on those crates, so blowing up the crates to make a hole, grabs a flamethrower, quickly shoots the worm into the water, and also hits himself in the process because the flamethrower would otherwise keep going. It saves a little time.
So this mission is kind of notorious.
Okay, do the locomotion. This one, we've really had a lot of trouble with this one, but it's gotten so much better. So it's a collect the crate mission. We're trying to get to the right side of the map over the train here just to collect a crate, and then we're done. So basically, Ruffled, you punched that worm, you fire punched that worm while also making a little way to get up here. So he's going to use bungee and try to bungee fling himself over the train, and this is really difficult.
Oh lord. I think okay. Oh, we untangled.
Nice.
Got it. Okay. Yes.
Oh,
so
nice.
that move has given me so much grief over the months.
Yeah, this is probably one of the hardest moves in the run, if not the hardest. Just getting that. If you don't get it, say goodbye to your personal best time. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, it's one of those things you really want to get. It saves a ton of time.
Yeah.
All right. Got the crate, and we're on to Sand in Your Eye.
Yeah, this is a weird one, because the actual object of the mission that you're told in the briefing isn't really what you have to do, is it?
It's like, yeah, the objective of the mission says, you want to secure the area for a crate that's coming on top of the pyramid, but you don't have to do that. It's just kill all the worms. So, when in doubt, kill all the worms.
I guess we are technically securing it, but...
Yeah, I mean,
So what we did there is I set off a mine on top of that oil rig tower thing there, which basically blew the mine to the left onto a field soldier. So that killed them off screen, and then we've done a bazooka on these 2 sentries to pile them down in this little crevice. And then on the next turn, we're going to be using a weapon called a longbow, which comes into play on a few missions in the near future. But Mablak, if you want to explain how the longbow works and what we're doing with it.
Yeah, so the longbow and shotgun are the only 2 weapons really that give you 2 shots, and that's incredibly valuable. You get a shot, you get a walk somewhere else to another shot. So he longbowed the first worm off to the right, and now we're going to be longbowing this mine. I see he's using the camel's eye as a terrain marker.
They were slightly off
That was-
position, I think, but
Yeah, I think that was the right angle. It's just, I feel like that happened in another one of your runs too, and it's like not even just down to luck.
it happens quite a bit. Like there is a position on that early bazooka that you can do that will guarantee they always land in the right place, but I tend to go for a quicker one where you just sort of YOLO it. But because I do that, then they're not always in the right position. And now the rope knock.
Okay,
There we go.
nicely done.
So yeah,
So
rope.
the thing about
Yeah, go on, Mablak.
I'll explain. Yeah. So yeah, the thing about rope knocking, basically, when you release your worm from rope, you can knock yourself into another worm, and just knock them around. And that's something that you can't actually do in the missions unless it happens after your turn time is up. So like after you fired your weapon, then you have a few seconds of retreat time. Then if you hit a worm, you'll be able to knock them. So it does require some very precise timing.
Yeah, we've been learning how to do Worms 2 missions recently, and in those, rope knocking is allowed on all of them. So, and it really makes a difference to the run on that one.
Yeah, it changes everything really.
Yeah. Right. So, not much room out there.
So not mushroom out there. So basically all we have here is a girder pack, some ropes, a rope. And
One rope.
We're trying to get all the way across the right side of the map. Again, it's just a collect the crate mission. Collecting the blinking red crate on the far right. And there's a couple ways to do this. So the way we're going with here is
The safety
he's
strap.
going to traverse the girders up here and get to a teleport crate that's in the middle of the map.
And then go like that. You can actually do all of that in one turn by placing the girders when you're in midair, but it is fiendishly difficult. I can't do it. Mablak can do it. But... Right.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
So
Big, big shot.
we're on to big. I always want to call this map Big Frog. Big shot. So
It is a
we're on
big frog,
shot.
to be fair.
Yeah, it is a rather large frog. So on this one, you might notice that Ruffled is doing something when he walks. His worm is like sort of stuttering. It's sort of stuttering while he walks. So this is called skip walking. It's pretty simple to do. You just right click repeatedly as you're walking. There's a lot of timing to it though, and basically what skip walking does, it interrupts the worm's walk cycle. So the worm has a fast part of its walk cycle and a slow part of its walk cycle. So if you skip walk during the slow part of its walk cycle, it will get rid of that, leaving only the fast part, and you can basically increase your speed by like something like 1.4 times. So that's one of the things that we're doing when time allows, but it's very you don't use it all the time. If you can, you want to just like jump from place to place most of the time.
Yeah. We killed off the first 2 worms with longbow, but longbow only does 15 damage, so we had to knock them into mines. And speaking of mines, we've just done an AI manipulation to get this sentry into position, so let's see if we can actually set this mine off. As you recall, 10 frames it detects, so... yeah, so what we do is you hit the mine on the left to knock the sentry next to the mine on the right, and the combined damage will actually kill off that sentry once we've finished the turn. For now, though, it's going to hold that because we're on a rope, so it doesn't actually count up damage until we are in a sort of stationary, quiet bit. And then using an old woman there who basically just walks along, nags for 5 seconds, and then blows up to a whopping 70 damage. And so there we are. I managed to kill both of those worms there in 1 turn.
Okay, nice work.
So this one is a bit of a pinch point for casual runners. This game. This is this mission. It's called Water Surprise. And yeah, Mad Black, do you want to talk about this one for a bit?
Yeah, so there's an Eiffel Tower. It's littered with landmines, just like in real life. Yeah, so on this one, so basically what Ruffled is doing, using a longbow to clear those 2 mines, and the second one, so he hits it in just such a way that it does have to hit his worms, but we know it's not going to do enough damage to kill them. So basically we're just tanking that second landmine, and now we have a path up. So just by setting this one girder, we're going to be able to jump our way to the top and grab the crate. So our goal on this one is we want to kill this general worm who's at the bottom. You know, the plot of this is like the enemy forces think this worm is untouchable, and we have to show them otherwise. So we're going to collect an aqua sheep up here, but we're not really going to use it in the intended way, which is to fly it all the way around underneath the water and kill.
There we go.
And
yeah.
We just
we basically just
straight up.
We launch it, and then we deactivate the sheep's cape so that it just falls straight down, and the explosion is big enough that it goes through the leg of the Eiffel Tower and knocks the general in. And this is a quick mission, so Mad Black, Jurassic Worm.
This one is, well, when you see what he does, it's almost self-explanatory. So Jurassic Worm, we collect a mole bomb, and our goal is to kill this worm that's underneath the Brachiosaurus down here. Just the captain worm. If we kill him, then all the other worms follow suit. So the mole bomb, so he set off a mine, the mine goes down through the hole the mole bomb creates and kills the captain worm. And we're done.
Yeah, it's one of 3 kill the leader missions in the game, which are probably my favourite ones actually, like because you only have to focus on one worm. Right, and now chemical warfare. This is an interesting mission, this one. So this one is, again, the terrain is indestructible. And you've got a bunch of worms holed up inside it. And but you'll notice a lot of them are standing on quite thin parts of the terrain. So we're going to be using basically just attacks that will permeate these fin pipes here. I'm going to try and beat the... Ah, no, okay, so what I did... Yeah, what I tried to do there was... I mentioned the damage count in a mission earlier. Basically, like, if you... When you land on the ground, you've got about half a second grace before the damage count comes in if you've damaged a worm during the turn. So what I tried to do there was get the fire punch going before that happened, but... You don't want to miss, basically, because if you miss, then you pretty much have to restart this mission. Because this is a very brittle mission. This one, you have to do everything very precisely.
Okay, nice job.
Because we're trying
the
to...
fire punch.
Yeah, go on.
The fire punch can reach through these little thin areas of land. It just has a barely big enough hitbox to like get through there. And sort of the way they intended you to do this mission is like collect these crates which have skunks in them. But the skunks, even that method is, very long and cumbersome. So we have a much nicer way of killing these guys off.
Yeah, skunks basically poison the worms around them, which is in multiplayer games is really cool because it means they lose health incrementally per turn. But in a speedrun, skunks just way too slow. So time for the big AI manipulation here. So this major in the middle, we want this major to walk all the way to the right. And we've got it. But in order to do that, we have to place all of our worms pretty much in the positions that we've done so far. And that's looking pretty good on Field Soldier there, because it looks like we tricked... No, not quite. That's a shame. Yeah, sometimes you can get an easy kill on the Field Soldier there from the CPU by just positioning Zonaris where I did there, because then they do the airstrike and it can knock the Field Soldier into both of the mines, killing them off. Didn't quite get it, so we're going to need to use an extra turn to kill them off. But
I think he got robbed there. That was like, he was going for it.
Yeah, valiant effort.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we had time for a quick donation.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, awesome. We got €3 from RuffledBricks fan with a comment saying peace and love. And that donation went towards the incentive for this run, for which you still have a bit of time, which is see the end of the world. So first off, thank you very much for your donation. And RuffledBricks, how about you remind us what this entails and how much time we have for this one?
Yes, so basically see the end of the world. There's a mission coming up called Countdown to Armageddon. It's about 2/3 of the way through the run, and there's going to be a meteor storm in it, which normally we wouldn't see because we do the mission too quickly, but if you donate enough, then we will actually see the Armageddon. Now, let's talk about this mission for a bit. This is No Substitute, and this introduces, I think, many people's favourite weapon in the game, the Holy Hand Grenade. What we did there is popped it in a specific position so that it launched our worm into the Field Soldier on the right, and it knocked artillery up onto the tree there so that their grave damage as they exploded knocked the Field Soldier off the island as well. So we got a nice triple kill from 3 pretty disparate worms.
Yeah, just such a nice kill, that one. Because yeah, it's like you kind of just want to use like all the worms, all the different things that happen. Like the worms have grave damage. If you can use that, it's great. Yeah, I really love that kill. Okay, and now we're just finishing off the remaining 2 worms with a shotgun, which again gives you 2 shots per charge, which is perfect for this situation.
And you'll notice that the water is rising ever so slowly in between turns on this one. Not something we need to worry about here, but in the next mission, the water level is very much going to be a factor. But yeah, there we are. Nice, clean 2-turn mission. Sometimes the Field Soldier on the tree can end up being difficult to deal with, but they were kind here. So, let's talk about this one.
Okay, who left the floodgates open? So we're on the next mission. So this one, the first thing that Ruffled is doing is he has to execute a precise series of jumps to actually get up here onto this green barrel. If he doesn't do the perfect inputs, he won't be able to actually make it up there. And he's getting to an extremely precise spot, doing this full power grenade shot. So it knocks down one of those secret agent worms, then sends a mine into the other one, which piles them all together in the right. And basically what's going to happen, the water's going to keep rising and kill all those 3 worms on the right, which is great because we just have to worry about the 3 worms on the left.
Yeah, something to note as well is the enemies, usually when it's their turn and they're within the threshold where they'll drown in a few turns, they'll teleport, but Field Soldier here was high up enough that they actually thought, oh, it'd be better to grenade kill a chair instead. So they did that and retreated to the worst possible position for them, which is always guaranteed. So you can use the lack of enemy smarts to your advantage on this one. Something to note about that grenade I did at the beginning as well is you can actually change the bounce on the grenades as well from minimum and maximum, and we did it as maximum there. Because you'll notice a lot of the shots that we do in this game, we do at full power, and that's just so that we can repeat them easily whenever we do the run.
It's almost strange that Team 17 decided to include like maximum bounce, because it kind of just like, it really helps for missions. It gives you all these different trajectories you can use, but for a lot of normal games, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who's really that good at using it in the wild, as it were. Like, it's not something I think anyone uses for deathmatch. Yeah.
If you ever play like BSG matches, bazooka grenades, which is just like your typical cannon fodder type scheme, then yeah, it's fun there, but
So this is the RNG section of the mission. And it's gone pretty well so far. What we wanted was that secret agent to make a hole in the cables there so we can get through, and they have. So I'm going to ninja rope across now. It takes 3 turns to get the ninja rope on this one for it to become available, so we had to basically just waste time doing other stuff. But right, I don't think I can jump under secret agent here, so I'm going to take a different tact. I'm going to shoot him down like that. And then I think what I'm going to do is I think we're going to go for the first aid crate on this secret agent. Oh, the wind's not great, but
Okay.
but surprisingly it worked pretty well. So, and it's the secret agent on the right turn now. So actually the left-hand secret agent is in the drowning threshold, so we should be good. This secret agent is going to grab this crate here, which contains a jetpack. They can't use it, but the AI basically, whenever there's a crate nearby, they will prioritise that before they do anything else. And so that's going to put him in the position standing on the edge there, which means we can now get a pretty quick kill on them with the longbow. Yep, there goes secret agent.
Cool. Yeah, this is a good outcome.
Yeah. Yeah, basically this section of the mission you kind of want to do in 2 turns if possible, because that's pretty much as optimum as you get.
It can be very punishing. Like, for example, if you get one of the worms like close to the water but don't quite kill them, then on the next turn they have the potential to teleport away because they're able to sense the rising water.
Yeah.
It can be very finicky. All right. Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, Super Sheep to the rescue.
This one is almost self-explanatory. Where, you know, as you can see, it's a little maze where he just has to send his super sheep through and grab a crate.
God damn it. It's yeah, this is one where when I was a teenager, you used to be able to choose this one by just blowing yourself up, but they patched that out, so you have to. Oh man, I'm well off. Okay, Bablack, you take over. I need to focus.
Okay, so yeah, super sheep is incredibly hard to control. Almost ideally, you want to like warm up specifically super sheep before like doing this, which I never remember to do even.
Okay, there we go.
Nice.
Usually I can do that first try. I think I'm just a bit. I'm gonna keep blaming lack of sleep on this and just go with that. There is by the way, there's a task actually that shows that you can actually kill that guard off by hitting the super sheep in a very specific pixel spot underneath the terrain.
You hit the
there.
CPU while avoiding your own worm.
Yeah, but I've never figured out how to do that actually.
I don't think I've actually done that myself.
Yeah.
Pretty insane.
Now, this is probably one of the best strats in the entire game.
Okay, this strat is pretty awesome to see. So, basically we have a double damage crate over here, and we're armed with a holy hand grenade. So what Ruffled's going to do is lay the holy hand grenade. There's going to be a huge crater because we have double damage on. And we're going to... So our goal is to kill all the 3 enemy worms who have a ton of health. So we get to a very precise, you know, a sub-pixel precise spot. Our worm is sent up and over this field marshal here, and the grave damage is going to send him into the water while the other 2 worms were killed with the holy hand grenade and the mine.
What's great about that one is it tries to intimidate you by saying, hey look, 3 worms with 300 health, and yet you can just decimate them instantly. Trouble on Mount Wormhole.
Worms are weak to water. That's their one weakness.
If they were
on Mount Wormhole,
yeah,
this one's pretty easy. It's a one-turner. Just rope across these figureheads, and we just have to kill this general worm who's at the bottom, and that's it. So we have a kamikaze, which goes straight through land, and we just get to a precise. He just gets to a precise spot. Kamikaze straight down, and that's it.
It's the only kamikaze we use in this run, really, actually. Whereas in Worms 2, there's kamikazes all over the place. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So, Chateau Assassin. This has another really cool strat to it.
yeah, so for Chateau Assassin, yeah, for this mission, once again, we're just trying to get to the far right side of the map. We just have to kill one general worm on the very far right. And some people might remember this mission as like being another super annoying one. So the top of the map is just littered with mines. They're instant mines. You can't get anywhere near them or they will blow up instantly. So we do have to avoid those, and we don't have a whole lot of ways to do that. So one thing Ruffle did was, so he restarted 4 times. That gives us a mercy crate, which has a low gravity. So we have low gravity going on now. So it's a utility you can activate, just basically reduces the gravity. So that lets us get up over here to one of these crates, and so Ruffle has positioned one of his worms on that oil barrel. And here's what's going to happen. He just used Fire Punch, which blew up the crate, and sends that worm straight all the way across the map into the general worm. So I love this. I love this strategy. I think it's like the most beautiful thing in the game, just sending that worm up and over like that.
Yeah. I did an animation cancel on the Fire Punch as well, which you can do by just jumping. Okay, so Rescue Agent Dennis. This is an interesting one. So, Agent Dennis is being played by Killer Chair. Agent Dennis is a very gifted mercenary. Look at the size of his arsenal here. It's fantastic. We've got most weapons out of any mission in this one, but we have to basically save him from this this 8 versus 1 ambush. So the good thing about this one is you've got a bunch of different weapons here. So there's theoretically many different ways you can do this mission, but we've got a pretty straightforward way, which is we're using the homing missile here. The way homing missile works is you set the crosshairs like so, and then you fire it like a bazooka, and then after half a second the homing mechanism kicks in and the missile goes to the target. That knocked the right hand worm there into the one who's on the side of the M of Team 17. And you can do that on the turn we just had or the next turn, but I do it basically according to what the wind is, because we want to use a napalm strike to deal with these 2 worms here, but and we're not going to get to do it on this occasion because the wind has gone. Not... Yeah, it's gone left on both turns. So instead,
the wind has gone sour.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just doing a dynamite with the 1 ninja rope that you get actually in this mission. That's the one thing that makes this one difficult, is you only get 1 rope, so you have to preserve movement quite staunchly. Another thing to mention about this mission is the crates in this are absolute trolls. If you grab any crate on this, you get a select worm. So brilliant if you want to select Killer Chair or Killer Chair.
The crates also basically just get in your way. Like they'll just pop into random spots and like mess up your shots.
So yeah, because Assassin there, there's an AI manipulation you can do at the beginning of this mission where sometimes if you position your worm in the right spot, Assassin will actually knock themselves down into this section here. It didn't actually happen on this occasion, so I've had to knock them down with a blowtorch, of all things. And now, let's talk
about... One of those weird crates popping up. Okay, now we're doing a banana trick. So basically, banana bomb shoots out a bunch of little banana clusters, and by standing above it, they all explode on you all at once. So this is called a cluster trick, or in the case of the banana, I guess you would call it a banana trick.
And we lose Agent Dennis as well, actually, oddly enough, in this. But the stipulations with the missions in this is actually you do not need to survive on the last turn, provided that you achieve your objective for the mission. And so we're actually going to be using that mechanic quite a lot in the coming missions, including on this one. So yeah, this mission's called Horny Nuke. This is a what we call a shopper mission. Do you want to talk a bit about what that means?
Yeah, so basically there's a bunch of crates. We are collecting most of the crates. We don't have to collect all of them. But yeah, basically we want to kill all these worms. It's a kill 'em all mission. So we're piling those worms together. We're gonna banana them momentarily. And
Well, there's two different ways of doing the banana on this one. You can do the banana on this turn, or I'm actually going to save it till the end, and you'll see why in a bit. But first, pixel perfect grenade trick here, just to knock the two snipers into the hole here, which means we can then kill them simultaneously on the next turn.
Using those piling strats, pretty important.
And okay. What I was trying to do there was trying to get a rope fling so that Killer Chair was moved further to the left. But one of the big problems of this mission, and it's one of the only missions where you have this problem actually, is you only get 2 seconds retreat time after each move. Most of the missions you'll get 3 to 5 seconds of retreat time, but here you only get 2, and that really makes a difference. Especially since you're using quite high-powered weapons in this, like the Holy Hand Grenade and the Banana Bomb, so you have to be sort of careful on your retreats in this one. And speaking of the Holy Hand
Grenade... This one's not forgiving with retreats for some reason. I don't know why this one is like so different.
Okay, so the Holy Hand Grenade, they were doing that above artillery because the crate that is to artillery's right there is another one of those crates where you're supposed to get it as part of the mission briefing. But, again, the end of the mission is not triggered by capturing the crate, just killing the enemy worms is what triggers it. However, if you do blow up that crate, then the game counts that as a fail, and you have to restart the mission. So that's why we do the Holy Hand Grenade from above there, because it just, it's the safest way.
It does make a lot of sense. Like, getting the crate isn't a win, but destroying the crate is a loss. It's like, why?
Yeah. Now, here we go. Moment of truth.
Okay, so all the worms are basically piled. Oh, perfect. Okay, doing the banana trick again. Laying the banana below us, so all of the little bananalets explode all at once. And yeah, it does a ton of damage, kills all the worms.
I like how you call them little bananalets, even though they're the same size as the original banana.
Yeah. They're large bananalets.
Excuse the cough, by the way, gang. It's just a part of me. Right, next mission is called Rumble in the Farmyard, which I think some people consider this to be quite a boring mission because it's just a sort of kill the enemy mission with a fairly plain set of weapons. But we've got quite an interesting strat for this one. So Mad Black, if you want to talk a little about this.
Yeah, so we've definitely done a lot of strat improvements over the last year on this mission. So basically we're firing Zook to start off with. It knocks that little mine down, makes the little crater, while also hitting that one field soldier worm. And so basically that's going to set us up for a double kill in a minute. Whoa, nice fling.
Yeah, I struggle with that fling sometimes, but yeah, I'm getting the hang of it now. Basically just like cuts out a whole
sling you could do.
It cuts out a whole section of the, slow roping to get to the other side otherwise. And yeah, we just grabbed a couple of crates there, cluster bomb and dynamite, both of which we are going to be using in this. What's going on? Yes. Okay, so Killer Chair is taking damage here. That's fine. In fact, that's actually important because we need Killer Chair to be below, I think it's below 30 HP, or no, 40, I think, for this next strat.
Yeah, and so basically what happens here is, so he has to jump off this worm, do 3 nudges forward. So we have this little routine we do to get in the exact sub-pixel precise position, and then we fire this Zook, sends both of us into this pile, which, with grave damage, is going to do just enough damage to kill both these worms. So it's a very precise trick. Occasionally there are little things we have to do to make our worms in the exact right sub-pixel position, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that is how the game works. Like, even if the worm looks like they're in the same spot, they could be in very different you know,
Yeah, mommy's boy.
have a very different subpixel value.
And now here is Cluster Trick, which basically works the same as Banana Trick. Wow. Okay,
Oh my god!
that's
Oh my god!
quite the
Look
launch.
at that. Almost all the way to the water. That was great.
That would, if that was a plop, that would have been lovely. But yeah,
Oh, that's
it's all right.
beautiful.
Beggars can't be
I love when
choosers.
that happens.
Yeah, but yeah. So as you can see, the captain there absorbed all of the clusters in one go, which just creates this really powerful
114.
centralized
That's
explosion.
crazy.
Yeah.
So we're on to Wooden Ambush. This is another mission that's just a kill 'em all mission. You got 4 worms you gotta kill. There's 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and they're both sort of hidden away in the brambles here. So we're sending a sheep through this
Ooh.
little gap, because that's one of the only ways to get to these worms. And we're gonna follow it up with a grenade. Hopefully kill them both.
Yeah, and what I've done there is I've positioned Killer Chair as high up within this area that they're in as possible, because this is going to manipulate the field soldiers on the left into firing a bazooka at Zelda over on the left here. What we're banking on is basically manipulating the CPU so that by the time we get to them, there will be a pathway through for us to be able to get to them. This is the moment of truth, and the spread down there is not particularly good. So yeah, as I suspected, one of the field soldiers has survived this, and I've didn't get Killer Chair into a great position to deal with that either, so we might be in trouble here.
Let's see if he fires up.
He might, yeah. Sometimes he fires. Oh, okay, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. Okay, we can get through. So that's fine. It's a 4-turner now rather than a 3-turner, but it's still going to be relatively quick. So we use the Uzi there just to fire field soldier in. And now...
Yeah. These guys are gonna dig again for us. So these guys on the left are like really nice. They just kind of dig a hole. You just let them do their thing.
Yeah. And you get a very generous amount of jetpacks on this mission as well, which is very nice as well, because it just means the movement is pretty quick around it. And then what we're going to do, so we're going to use that just to get over here, and then a 1-second grenade here. And the great thing about that 1-second grenade is if you just hold right after you drop it, then you get blown into the 2 worms like that. At the exact right position for that to happen. So here's the scariest mission in the game.
Go bananas. So this mission is one where we boom race across the map. So we have to get a crate on the far right side of the map. Don't have a way to get across. Whoa, you got it. Nice.
There we are.
First try.
Last 2 marathons, I have not been able to
Buzzed.
get that trick into it, so I am very pleased we managed to do that in one.
All right. Brilliant. That's very hard to do. So this is so basically you're boosting across the map by jumping just at the right time after you lay a grenade. So you're using the power of your jump plus the power of the grenade. That's the only way to get across that quickly. So it's really hard to do. Like it's
more or less
honestly, like,
frame perfect, isn't it?
It's almost frame perfect. It's like you can make it so you have a few frames of wiggle room, but it's pretty much frame perfect.
This is the drop zone, and by the end of this mission, we need to know what the outcome is on the See the End of the World incentive. So just FYI. But
Well, on that note, do we have time for a few donations?
yes, go for it.
Alright, awesome, because you'll be very happy to hear that the incentive has been met. And that is through 2 donations that we got here. First off, we've got a 47 euros donation from Tomaine. And here we'll have to bust out the One-Winged Angel music, because the contest, Sephiroth starts chanting ominously. So obviously we can't play it here, but if you know the song, you can imagine it. And we got another 47 euros. Yes, exactly.
I can't do the falsetto.
And we've got another 47 euros donation saying, it's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. And indeed, now that we've got this end of the world incentive met, we shall see it. So indeed, everyone in chat, I hope to see some Sephiroth right now. But yes, indeed, that also means we've reached 1,635 euros for Mind, which is absolutely amazing. So thank you for your donations, and let's keep it going, everyone.
Well, God help you, because you've made the next mission very RNG dependent. By the way, drop zone, because we missed it there, but basically just we cheesed the mission by using shotguns. If you want to know more.
That's the gist of it.
Yeah. Right, so, countdown to Armageddon. So do you want to talk about the plot of this mission?
Let's see, the plot of this mission, so there's a political worm, a worm renowned for his large hat and political importance, and it's sort of an escort mission. We want to make sure that worm doesn't die. He's in the center of the map. The one nice thing is that the computer will not target that worm. They won't actually target him unless one of your other worms happens to be nearby. But we have to make sure that worm doesn't die. And basically, an Armageddon is going to come after a certain number of turns. And we want to make sure that, all our worms are protected. And so what Ruffled is doing is he's batting this worm over here. This isn't the fastest way to do it. This is like the incentive way, because we want to actually see the Armageddon. Usually we just kill all the enemy worms and don't even see the Armageddon. So we're going to get that worm to safety, so he's sort of wedged between those two buildings. And we also have some girders at our disposal that will block the meteors that are going to rain down.
Yeah, I've had some people in my community who lamented when I switched over to the faster version of this strat, because actually, do you know, I'm going to reset that, because Field Soldier's in an awful position there, and pretty sure they're gonna survive if we carry on as we are. So
yeah, this is one reason we don't do this strat under normal circumstances.
Yeah,
we also have no way of knowing what the Armageddon's gonna do. It just randomly sprays meteors everywhere. So yeah, we'll
this is very much an experimental incentive, I should stress.
Yeah.
So but let's hope it pans out. What I will do is if the Armageddon is really unconducive to getting this mission completed, then we'll try and complete it the normal speedrun way after that, if it really causes too much hassle. But yeah, it's one of the most sort of fun visuals in the entire game when the Armageddon goes off. It's basically, the Armageddon is like a super weapon that you can get generally in shopper schemes and whatnot, because it's not one that you generally have access to normally.
Yeah, it's a good way to take out both yourself and the enemy all at once.
So what I'm doing here, I'm still taking out a few enemy worms here, because the ones on the right have a habit of surviving if you're not careful. And these bazooka holes are not filling me with joy. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start.
Yeah, patch it up with the.
Yeah. So here we are. We're building our shelter for the politician here.
This is his bunker. He's escaping from the
Oh my God! Will you stop it?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty dangerous if they're making these holes, because the little Armageddon meteors can come at all these different angles.
That's pure magic, by the way.
Right, I am going to. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I am getting the girder starter pack over here, because I think we're going to need it.
Ooh. Yeah, let's make sure we don't have to do this again.
Yeah. Right, there we go. I'm just going to lay a girder for this turn, just because Killer Chair is in the best position to do the girder starter pack. So the way girder starter packs and girders tend to work is that there's usually a set sort of area around the worm with which you can place the girders.
I'll get you for that.
And if you go beyond that, then it won't let you actually position them. So here we go. Right, that's probably
looking safe.
Well,
unless
possibly.
Oh wait, there's gonna be, unless one comes straight down, you know.
They are. You never know where they're gonna go. As I say, they're complete RNG. And Major's the one who's most likely to survive under this, by the way. Like, so Major's the one we most want to get killed off. Okay, so placing a safety one there just so that if they do get through our main shield there, then there's a bit of backup. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to prod the politician into a slightly lower position here. So here we go, and the Armageddon is about to happen, so put your goggles on and enjoy. Here it comes.
I think you're well protected.
So down they go. Oh, and a great early meteor on Major there, so that's good. That bodes well for them. Going through the shelters there, getting good damage on the worms on the right. That is fantastic to see. So we just need to make sure that our killer chair and the politician stay safe at the moment. They are getting quite close on the right-hand side. But, right-hand side is really going for it. But we have survived. And there we are. You've seen the end of the world. You've seen.
Excellent.
And we feel fine. And there we are. All of the enemy worms have been vanquished by the Armageddon. So we just about got away with it.
Nice. Yeah. I saw one of those meteors coming, but it like turned out to be a really tiny one.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, phew.
It was fun. Maybe we'll do that on another marathon.
It was fun. It's worked out like every time you've done it, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Mars Star. One of the quickest missions in the game.
We are, okay, Ruffled is firing 2 grenades, and at the same time, using a girder pack that will bounce them off and destroy that crate. All we have to do is destroy the crate, and we're done. That's the mission. It's the only mission where you get to use multiple weapons in the same turn.
Yeah, although in Worms World Party after this, actually, there's several missions where you actually get that feature. But again, story for another day. Just trying to prove I'm not a one-run pony.
Yeah.
Right, so Mad Cows, not really any real gimmicks to this mission, because it's basically just a kill the enemy worms one. The only real gimmick to it is you only get 20 seconds per turn. And because of that, even though the enemy worms can actually switch worms, because the short time per turn, then they actually don't. So they cycle in a pretty specific area. But here's probably the one move I think that is kind of note in this one. It's another sort of grenade.
This is a cool double kill. Yeah, lay the grenade, get on the cow's horn, knock yourself into that worm while the other worm flies off, so you get a cool double kill.
Yeah, bouncing off the mine there. Oh, you might notice every now and then the game fades to black midway through a mission, by the way. That's basically the game giving us an instant replay whenever we do something cool like kill off 3 or more worms at the same time, or complete the mission or whatever. But we just buffer through those because we know how good we are. Right, so now the last move we're going to do is with a dynamite. And we're using a technique called dynamite hatting here, whereby there's like a certain amount of pixels that you can place a dynamite or a mine on top of a worm. And depending on how many pixels you nudge across, that will affect the angle at which they fly across when the explosion happens. So as long as you know what the nudges are and the angles, then you can pretty much kill off a worm straight away with that. Now, here's another favourite mission.
This is a nice run killer. I don't want to jinx it, but it's this one is maybe the most painful mission because if you make one mistake, you're potentially screwed, doomed to 4 or 5 minute slog. Or you can just restart if that happens. But basically, you're armed with only bazooka, which is incredibly sinister on the part of Team 17 because bazooka is affected by wind. Sometimes you might not get wind that allows you to hit these worms, like that captain worm on the far left. If you get leftward wind, your bazooka just can't hit him.
Yeah, this captain is in a horrible position.
Horrible. Yeah.
And so what we're doing here is we've memorized a few bazooka shots that we can use on this one. And this move in particular, where we're going to kill off the major at the top here, you have to basically memorize about 4 different positions for the bazooka based on what the wind is. We got it there, but again, just goes into how complicated the bazooka is, because the wind will just completely affect it. If
yeah, or even more positions if they destroy the barrel. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. I've got a whole chart
Yes.
on my wall of like positions that,
chart, yeah.
yeah, which I refer. Didn't need it for that one. That was quite an easy position, but. And then you have to rely on this captain ending the turn in a good position, which they have, because we're going to end this once again with a homing missile. Homing missile we got as a result of resetting the mission once. It's another mercy crate, and it's pretty much the best thing for killing this captain. So fire it into the air, the homing mechanism kicks in and knocks the captain straight into the water, like that.
He was potentially like in a slightly left position, I think.
It was no, that one was fine. They've been in way worse positions than that. So. Stolen goods.
Yeah, that was stolen goods. Okay, another kill 'em all. So this one, I don't actually know how Team 17 intended for you to do this one, but the way to do it, the fast way, is to rope under. You get a rope, and you can actually rope under and over through these letters of this now this company Microprose that no longer has the rights to worms.
Yeah, slightly awkward. Let's not call attention to that.
Yeah. So we're gonna get this crate here, which is a French sheep strike by blowtorching through, and this is gonna allow us to kill the worms up above.
You notice also I switched off the background there, which I mean, Mad Black always has the background off in his runs. I like having a bit of color in the background, but if you have it just at the lowest background level like this, then you can see the kill plane of the water a bit better. So it just makes the roping a little bit easier there.
Yeah, the black background is like, it's kind of murder on the eyes, but I'm too used to it.
Yeah. Now here comes the French sheep strike. This is another fun super weapon, but RNG heavy. So we dropped 5 flaming sheep onto the enemy worms like that, and the bounce of the sheep is generally pretty random. So sometimes we kill off all the enemies, sometimes we don't. Looks like we got 3 on this occasion, so that's pretty good.
I think that's like reasonably good. You didn't have damage to the top right guy.
Yeah, so I think the one, yeah, so that one's going to die out. So this should be below 50, I think. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So Field Soldier is very killable now. Because you don't have much in the way of weapons on this, but you got like shotgun and Uzi, and you got an infinite supply of both. So if the sheep doesn't take care of it, then Killer Chair is in a good position, especially now that he's opened up a hole with the cluster bomb there, to be able to actually just finish the Field Soldier off. So here we go. Shotgun 1. And shotguns can do 25 damage if you, maximum if you hit them in the right position, like so. We also did. I did one reset at the beginning, by the way. You notice there's a crate underneath Ben on the right here. That contains a homing pigeon. We use that in the event that Killer Chair gets killed off, and then we have a backup. But no need for it on that occasion.
Okay, nice. And we're getting towards the end of the run, so we have sinking ice cap here. So here we're pretty much only armed with a blowtorch, which I guess it's kind of amazing that we can do this in like 2 or 3 turns with just that. But like, so basically, Ruffled, he torched through that worm, jumped over here to stand on this worm's head, and this worm is going to call an airstrike. So what happens is, if you have a worm on your head and you call an airstrike, that worm phases through you, which we just did, and we activated that mine, which killed him. So we manipulated that worm into just killing himself there. And we're left with 1 health, which is fine.
It is. We actually do want less than 8 HP for the next turn that we're going to do. Which, Mamblaf, you just want to...
Alright, so the strat here, we are blowtorching the first worm, and we're going to jump into the second worm, kill him with grave damage. Nice.
Yeah, that's the quickest
Perfect.
way. The problem is it's hard to guarantee that you actually get less than 8 HP on the mine on the left, just because of the, once again, the frame detection on the mine makes it really hard to find a good timing for that. But you can work with either outcome. It's just this is slightly quicker.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's definitely the best outcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have aim long, aim true. So in this mission, another kill 'em all mission, we basically just have grenades and a girder pack, and we're gonna bounce some grenades off those girders just to make sure they kill these worms. So one thing Ruffled has done here is made a little funnel so that he can kill this closest worm. And so we have a strat here. Basically, we're killing this worm first. He gets knocked into the worm on the bottom, does some grave damage. It's not going to quite kill the worm on the bottom.
13 damage generally you get on this one. Yeah.
And that's all we need. So on the next turn, we're going to kill this worm who's going now, send him into the bottom worm, and finish him off with grave damage. So it kind of just saves us a turn.
We're going to try to. This is actually the hardest shot.
This is difficult.
Oh, we got it. Yeah, that's fine.
Nicely done.
What I do on that shot is I keep it at the crosshairs at the same position, but it's not a full strength shot. That one, it's like a three-quarter strength, and that's quite hard to replicate all the time. So what I do is I place 2 girders there, like so you got that higher one just in case I go too hard. That usually helps funnel it into the right position.
Yeah, it's one of the few feel shots. So like for most of the shots we do in this game, we're able to do them at full power, which means we don't really have to time it. But that's one of the few shots where we really do have to time the power.
All right, slightly off on that one. That's okay. Now, this general can't do anything in this mission, so we're not at any imminent risk.
Yeah, that shot we can actually miss.
Yeah. It's like the earlier ones, like there is a risk that they can retaliate. Because this is an artillery mission as well, which means that all of the worms are routed to the spot. So you are very vulnerable over here if a worm gets a grenade on you. But we're fine.
Okay, awesome.
Right.
Okay, third to last mission, Goody Two Shoes. One of the sloggiest missions, but...
I need to point something out about this, by the way. I used to make fun of the name of this mission because... there's 3 shoes in it. But,
yeah, that is true.
But someone pointed out the one on the right is a boot.
Oh, right.
And also, how do we know that they're good? So, yeah. This is another shopper mission. So we got a bunch of crates in the middle that we need to grab using an aqua sheep. However, the first section is just blowtorching, which is quite boring. So if we do have any... donations or anything you want to read out at the moment, now would be a good time to do it.
Absolutely. So I would like to use this opportunity to remind everyone that this event is indeed raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. So definitely it is an absolutely really great cause to donate for. And organizations like mine help raise awareness to the issue in helping everyone around the world to get the help they need regarding mental illness. The fact that we've reached more than 1,600 euros during this event is absolutely amazing. And I'm thinking, how soon until we reach 1,700? I'm pretty sure we can reach it in the next few hours or so. That would be absolutely amazing. So thank you, everyone, and let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Okay, we're free, so we've managed to get out of the blue shoe. So now, here comes the aqua sheep. So Mablak, I'm just gonna focus
Okay.
if you wanna.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna collect some crates. We need like a rope and an airstrike. Basically, just a few crates here.
That's pure magic, by the way. That's pure magic, by the way. That's pure magic.
Okay,
by
we're
the way.
good.
Okay. Oh, nice.
That's
Weird trajectory.
yeah. That's so. This is basically that crate that was by Field
Oh,
Soldier.
good.
There doesn't normally spawn. I reset the mission once in order to put it there. It's a napalm strike crate, but I don't actually collect it. I use it as basically extra ammo to kill off that Field Soldier with the sheep. Only problem there was we knocked them over to the crates over here, which we don't need those crates, but just when you blow up a crate, it adds time because of the fire animation. So lost a little bit of time there, but nothing serious. It's the perfectionist in me that's getting
Right.
annoyed about that.
Right, the extremely like swag way is like you hit that worm, he just flies into the water.
Yes.
We always want those. We always want those plops because it just saves time, no grave animations and stuff. Okay, and we just bat that worm into the wall, bounces off to the left.
I probably would go for the plop version on an all gold run, but I don't do all gold runs. So, you might be wondering why this isn't any percent run, and it's because when we reset the missions to spawn extra crates, then you actually drop down a medal. So you get gold medal if you complete a mission the first try. When it's like second, third, or fourth try, then it's silver, and after that it's bronze. And any percent just means that you can get any medals that you like from each mission. Whereas there's an all gold category as well, where like you can't reset any mission because you'll drop down a medal.
Yeah, any percent is a little bit just more forgiving, I guess.
Like you have to do all gold in 100% run, so that's the main reason I learned that run. But
Oh right, yeah.
yeah. Ooh.
That was damaging, but we're gonna kill these two worms in just one go.
Yeah, using fantastic airstrike. I think is that the? I can't remember. Is that the right position? I haven't done this.
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
After the
We're
fact,
good.
yeah.
It just look again like after the baseball bat fiasco earlier. I'm just slightly on tilt. I'm just kind of like, oh, is that the one?
I know it's like we're really using the background there, and we're trying to get the cursor for the airstrike like sort of pixel perfect. It can occasionally be hard to remember these things because we're sort of comparing it against like the terrain.
Watch this.
Okay, so this is the penultimate mission. Trouble in Toy Store. First we were doing here, pixel perfect grenade on the grenadier and artillery over to the left, because that makes this much easier to deal with, this mission. And now the captain here, we want the captain to end their turn on the right hand side of this teddy bear's ear. This is important. I think, yeah, that's far enough to the right, I believe. Yeah.
Fine. They have to expose their tender underbelly so that we can shoot a cluster right under them and use the cluster trick so all the little clusters explode all at once. Do a bunch of damage. So this is like a kind of an interesting strat. The only like cluster trick where we actually like toss the cluster a long distance to do it. This is a normal outcome, so sometimes it kills both worms, sometimes it kills one, sometimes they both live.
Yeah, and now we're going to be using the worst weapon in the entire game to be able to deal with the captain and sniper here.
Mortar, it's a truly painful weapon. It does hardly any damage. It's, you can't control the power. It always fires at full power. No one ever uses this weapon, but it's all we got.
Yeah, you don't have much in terms of long distance stuff in this one.
Oh, got it.
No, we didn't. Sniper's still alive.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. See, that is how weak Mortar is.
It's,
So this is fine. It does mean... Okay, so Assassin's getting a turn, so that's fine. So they're making a hole here. So I think... Just trying to think how best to play this. Okay, so we're gonna use... I'm gonna go with the dynamite, and I think we'll use... we'll have a go at using the homing missile,
Yes, sir. Hey.
which has just fallen by Zonaris to deal with Sniper. But here... So now we need to get through to Assassin. The only thing we've got there to do that is dynamite. Should mention there's a VIP in this mission as well, actually. I always forget to mention him because he's pretty much inconsequential in this one. But yeah, that glowing worm with the hat there is the scientist. We're supposed to protect him from the enemies, particularly the assassin who usually tries to Uzi at him. But
basically, worm scientists, politicians, they all just wear the same hat. They wear their large hat of importance.
yeah, it's like important people wearing the same suit. You know, like that's what they have in Worm World.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, like they're poisoned. The scientists, so as you can see, they lose 3 HP between every turn. But like they can't die just as a result of the poison. Like it will cap at 1 HP. So right, this is gonna have to YOLO this, I think, unless well, I mean we can still survive this if it doesn't work out. But all right, we got it.
All right. Okay, nice. There's just one mission left.
Yeah, and you might be expecting quite the finale on such a epic run as this, and you're wrong. This is one of the easiest missions in the game.
It definitely became much easier. I think like as is, if you play it casually, it might be kind of hard. In fact, it's a bit tricky because crate will fall on the far left side of the map. You have to place a girder in time to catch the crate so that you can collect it, otherwise it'll fall into the water, which is a bit devious.
Yeah, this mission, I think, someone pointed out, this mission is impossible to get right first time, unless you
I think so.
know about it. But yeah, so let's talk about what we're actually doing on this one. So
okay, so yeah, Ruffled is going to get to a precise location, fire a precise grenade. We're dodging with, against the train here, using a train marker. So he knocks Captain into the water on the left while also jumping to the right and suicide knocking into that worm on the right. So he kills 2 worms in one go.
Now Captain is the only enemy worm left of the enemy team. He's got to do something to turn this around, because if he doesn't manage it, then that's it. CPU has failed for the whole thing. But I'm sure he's going to do something that's going to be a bit scary here. So come on, Captain. What have you got? What have you got?
I think a smart play would be, yeah.
So close.
It's a smart move.
Yeah.
Like getting, for him to just put himself on an oil barrel and also fire a airstrike that doesn't hit you.
So that's it. That is the final enemy worm killed off in the game. And you might be thinking, all right, well that's it. We've won. Well, nope. Because we've still got to stop that crate from landing in the sea. So what happens because of that is, because the enemy worms are now gone on this, then we actually take all of the enemy worms' turns. So we basically now just grab this girder in the middle and just got a pilgrimage all the way over to the left. So it's quite a subdued ending to the run.
Yeah, I like the peaceful ending. It's nice. Finally get some peace and quiet.
But I think now would be a good time to actually do some shout outs before we wrap up. So firstly, I'm going to shout out my wonderful commentator Mablak, who has done absolutely fantastic work in routing this, and Worms 2 as well. Actually, he's done some astonishing routing for these runs. Also shout out to the whole Worm speedrunning crew, so Dead Code, Lex, Psychotropic, Peachy, who was the first runner ever to get a run on speedrun.com. And Mablak, anyone you want to shout out?
Oh man, big shout outs to you for running this game so splendidly, doing all these marathons.
Bless you.
And shout outs to the same people basically, just to all the crew that has been working on these in just any capacity. Yeah, these missions have progressed a lot. It's been a lot of fun. And of course, if anybody ever wants to learn how to run this.
Oh, here's time, by the way, and time.
All right.
There we go. Sorry, I should have given the warning on that, but that is all 33 of the missions and all 9 of the basic training.
It looks like 116 something.
116. All right. Considering we did the Armageddon strat on Countdown to Armageddon, then that's actually not bad. at all. I'll take that. But yeah,
Very impressive.
as Mad Black was saying, if anyone wants to learn this run, and we'd love to get more runners involved in the Worms games, then yeah, check out the Worms speedrunning Discord server, which is run by Psychotropic, me, and Mad Black, and yeah, very helpful server there. So anyone who people will be able to answer your questions. But yeah, that's been great. Thank you very much, BSG, for having me. Please do keep supporting Mind. And anything else that you want to say, Pika, before we wrap up?
Well, I think that really will be it. I think you guys have all done your shout outs. So first off, I want to say thank you for this run and the commentary as well.
One thing I will say, actually, Mad Black, do you want to just quickly shout out your channel?
Oh, sure, yeah, twitch.tv/MadBlack, MAB1AK. I haven't done a ton of streaming yet. I'm sort of getting into it, so yeah, I'll have more streams up as I go along.
But he's a way better runner than me, so please do bully him into doing more streams. It would be joyful.
I need to be bullied.
And twitch.tv/RuffledBricks for myself if you want to see me running games like this or with similarly cartoon graphic styles. Sorry, Pika, back to you.
That's okay. All right. So we'll soon be going into a short intermission, after which get ready to see Mighty Gunvolt Burst 80%. So you'll be seeing that right after a short intermission. So thank you, everyone, and we'll be right back.